Bonjour classe, je m'appelle Benjamin et aujourd'hui je vais vous expliquer le Texas French Symposium. So my name is Ben Notelowitz. Thank you fellow French students at St. Edward's for being here with me. Today I'm going to talk about the Texas French Symposium in Houston, Texas. It's there annually. A little bit about myself. My name is Ben Notelowitz. Obviously, I study French here at St. Edward's. I studied abroad in France for 8 months, and this year I received an Excellence in French Award at St. Edward's, so I'm ready to talk about French with you guys. A little bit before this presentation begins, I just want to ask you guys to silence your cell phones. Please hold your questions till the end, and if you guys could just stay in your seats and don't walk around during my presentation, I'd really appreciate it. So today we're going to be talking about the Texas French Symposium. I'm going to talk to you guys about why we want high schoolers to study French, what the Texas French Symposium is, and why we want you guys to volunteer with it in the future. So to get going, Texas French Symposium, it's a competition held in Houston every year that really fosters like a growth and support for Texas in high schools, or French and Texan high schools. It's a really fun competition that brings together students of the language from all across the state, and they compete not only in oral competitions such as reciting poetry or prose, but also in there's arts. People are working with watercolors, or there's music. People play different kinds of French tunes. There's silly French sports like pétanque and other games like that. So it's a really great way to bring together all the students of French from across the state to just really be to learn to love and appreciate this culture that they're learning in high school. I think this is a great opportunity because our state, Texas, since we're on the border, we're such a Spanish-heavy emphasis, and we really want to show the other options across the state. They say for every 10 students in high school, only just about one out of 10 is going to be studying French, 90% is Spanish. So it's pretty tough for these French students. They're really not getting kind of the attention and the emphasis they need at high school. So it's great to have an opportunity like this to bring them together. So now I want to talk about why we want these guys to continue sticking with French. It's a global language. If you look at the sheet, 220 million people are speaking it around the world. It's in over 50 countries, 5 continents. It's one of the third most frequently used languages on the planet, or on the internet. It's a lot of code is written in French. And after English, it's one of the most taught languages in the world, though really not in Texas. So I just want people to understand the global perspective that comes with learning French. It's a beautiful language, and I think it's really important that we keep high school kids engaged in this material. And now, how to volunteer with this. So each year, the Texas French Symposium, it's run by mostly volunteers, people like me who are passionate about the language. So I went last year with 8 other people from St. Edward's University, including 2 of my fellow professors. And we sit and we're judges for these kids, depending on your level of French proficiency, depends on the level you judge. And it's a really great program. You get to interact with these kids, you get to talk to them. We helped recruit kids to come to St. Edward's University and talk to them about our French program. So we were really happy about what we were able to do there. We were able to represent the school, represent the language, and it was just a really great event. So now I'm going to go ahead and move into the conclusion. So today we talked about 3 things. We talked about why help with the Texas French Symposium, why French, and why we want these kids to learn the language. I think it's really important to support the Texas French Symposium by volunteering. I really would advise you all to do it next year. I just want to remind you guys that Texas has some amazing French roots in history that date back from before we were part of the United States, and I think a lot of people don't understand the valid roots that this culture provides in this environment. And additionally, on a personal level, I was a technical grant recipient from volunteering in this. It's great for your resume, helped my letter of recommendations for post-university, and I really have some pride in this language, and I would love for you guys to be involved. So the Texas French Symposium was a really positive experience for me. I hope you guys all get involved next year, and I'm wondering if you guys have any questions at this time.